How's it going there, everyone? I'm taking a pleasant walk, and I have Banjo on the brain again, because I've been thinking a lot as the Switch 2 comes closer and closer. The Switch was good to Banjo. The Switch was incredibly good to Banjo, actually. You could say that Nintendo was doing more with the Banjo-Kazooie franchise than their actual owners. Now, of course, the big one being Banjo-Kazooie in Smash. That was huge. That was just a gigantic megaton event, and it really just felt like when they came to Smash, they were back. I mean, they were back as they were, especially like as their original platforming selves. You know, like kind of putting nuts and bolts to the side. They were back as their classic N64 heroes, and that was monumental. And they really captured the feel of the characters. I played Smash, honestly, for probably about 3 years straight, after release. It was just great to have them on. And then, of course, there were several other things that happened as far as Banjo-Kazooie for the Switch, which was, of course, Banjo-Kazooie coming to Nintendo Switch Online. That was just so cool. Because here we have, for the first time since the original release, like an actual re-release of the original Nintendo 64 version with all the cool little Nintendo artifacts, like the walking Nintendo 64 logo and all the little various little Nintendo things they put in here and there, like the Game Boy and the Game Boy chime. It was just kind of a neat way to have that re-preserved. And then, of course, just recently, as of last October, they just, out of the blue, several years later, they released Banjo-Tooie, and Banjo-Tooie on the Switch, I think, is the absolute best version of the game. By far. I mean, it's just, I don't know, I love the Xbox version. N64, of course, had problems with the frame rate. The Switch version just fixes the frame rate problems while also preserving the original N64 feels with the controls, which is kind of something the Xbox version was missing a little bit, even with all the neat little incorporations, the cool HD graphics, and the stop and swap incorporation, all that. It just overall felt better on the Switch, and I've just enjoyed playing through it. And here we're heading to the next generation of gaming, and we're wondering, like, what is next for Banjo? And again, we'll just have to see who's willing to take up the torch, so to say, and bring us a new Banjo game. Could be Toys for Bob, could be a number of other possible developers out there, but I don't know. I just think I wanted to talk a bit about how it was just kind of interesting how we had Banjo on the Switch a number of times. Anyways, I hope you're all having an excellent and amazing day. Drop a like, subscribe, and we'll see you later.